just give us an idea as to how big a boost it was, that victory on Friday for the boys.
Yeah, I think it meant a lot to us. Winning at home. A couple of the boys last game in Headingley, being a Rhino, myself, Conrad, King, and also Sutcliffe, young Sutcliffe. It was a good win for us. We needed that going into the finals, and just the belief it gives us going into this game.
So after the game that Connie was visibly quite emotional. How did it hit you?
It hit me in the sheds before I came out. I thought about my kids and my partner back home. I just wish they were there, but it just showed how much the boys went out and gave it their all for myself and Connie, because we're pretty close bunch, boys. We've been through a lot with COVID, winning Wembley, Challenge Cup, and then even this year with all the injuries and the young boys stepping in. So it really meant a lot to us. I try to hold it. I am a softie like Connie, but I think it hit Connie a bit harder when we were out on the field.
So let's get this over with. Man of the match performance last week. Your form when you've played this year has been great. Is there any chance of you reconsidering hanging the boots up? Richard was joking about trying to get you to sign a new deal.
Yeah, well, to be honest, Mrs. said it's time to go home. It wasn't fair on her, keeping her here away from her family with grandparents getting older and the boys getting older, not being around family. I think I could go a couple more years, but in my head and as a family, we said, I'll go back, be a father. I'll probably still play local rugby, still be involved in the game. I've got a lot to give, and teach the young kids back home. If you put your mind to something, you can end up, in Leeds playing Super League one day. It's up to you.
So having said that, how much does it mean to you to be going out on a high and not just sort of limping through your final season, but going out with people saying good things about you?
Yeah, well, we wanna go all the way. We've got confidence in each other. It's been a rough year for us, but if none of these injuries happened, we wouldn't have got to see the likes of young Gannon, the likes of young Jack Broadbent coming out on his own, being a top try scorer. Tommy Briscoe playing out of position. I'm sure he was a centre. He's been playing wing all his life, and now he's in the centre. So we've got confidence in all of us. We get Zane back, we get a few big bodies back this week. It's going to be tough. Thursday night, Wigan, finals footy. Can't ask for anything more. So we're going to take it day by day. A good session yesterday. Captain's run tomorrow. Can't wait for Thursday.
There aren't many players in the game that get that when they decide to finish, that get that fairy tale ending, but that is still a possibility for you. What would that mean to Rob Louis?
To be honest, I haven't really thought of that. I don't want to look too far ahead. I'm just taking every session as it's my last. Just being around that team environment, because when you go to the workplace, it's a bit different. I'm not going to have days off. Yeah, because I've been doing this for a long time, but it's the little relationships and the little notes that I give the young players, just like that, you can be working on the road or at a pub or something. Like, one of the young kids that passed away in Widnes, or some of the boys, young Jared, young Sam, they were close with him. So I'm just being there for them. And I try not to look far. Like, everyone wants the fairy tale. If it happens, it happens. But I'm just happy with each day and every step I take from now going forward.
And when it does finish, whether it is at Old Trafford or not, what will you miss most about Super League, about Leeds?
To be honest, Super League probably saved my career. I came here down, had a few dramas back home. Super League's made me find that love for rugby league again. And that's why I've stayed here as long as I can. I've enjoyed it. Made me a better father, made me a better person. You meet new people. I got a lot of friends here, which I will miss. Got friends in Manchester and also in Leeds. I'm gonna miss it over here. And if I can go back home, if some of the players or come up to me and say, "Oh, what's it like Super League?" I'll say for them, "Go." You know, I loved every bit of it, and I would love to do it again. But if I can say that to some of the players coming through back home, take a chance, because Super League's a great competition, good people, and wish I played longer.
And just a couple of final points from me. I've spoken to quite a few players retiring this year over the past few weeks and asked them all the same question, which some have found harder to answer than others. But when you do hang up your boots and then, you know, in years to come, when people think about Rob Louis, how would you like to be remembered and thought of?
That is a tough question. I just want to be, you know, someone that loved the game. You learn lessons through your life, and through the game I've learned. You know, I've had my ups, I've had my downs. I was at my low point, but then rugby league brought me back to my high point. Gave me 2 kids. Me and my partner, we're good. You know, we're looking forward to the next phase. I can't. If it wasn't for the game, I reckon I'll be back home, living on. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. Probably be in jail or something like that. But if it wasn't for rugby league, NRL Super League, you know, it made me who I am today. And if someone chats to me about what it was like, you know, 5 years time, I'll say to them, I'll do it all over again if I can.
Well, that's one of the best answers I've had. Just lastly from me, Rob, a word on the game on Thursday. Obviously, you won there last month. How tough of a prospect will it be this time around?
It's going to be tough. You know, Wigan's Wigan. Even though got new players, they still got that tough mentality in them from them old players. It's going to be tough, and we're prepared. You know, we've got to go there and earn every kick chase, every tackle. We've just got to go out. It's going to be a tough game. I'm looking forward to it. I love playing at Wigan. You know, a lot of history and a lot of great players been played on that field, and the boys are looking forward to it. We try not to get too far ahead of ourselves. I always tell young boys, especially the likes of Harry Newman and and likes of those, but I just tell them, you know, we'll just play it day by day, and when we're on that bus, that's when we switch on.
Well said, mate. Good luck on Thursday. Cheers, Rob.
Thanks for that.
Hi, Rob. You all right?
How you going?
Yeah, good, thank you. I'm still reeling from the suggestion that the weather's nicer in Leeds than it is in Manchester.
Yeah, well, when you travel every day, you prepare for both, especially when you're leaving there, it's raining, and then you come here, it's sunny.
I'll take your word for it. I'll believe you. Thousands wouldn't. I'll believe you. You touched on it a bit before. How has living in the UK changed you as a person?
Coming over here, I had a few problems back home. I had to sort of find myself and find the love. English people are tough people, you know, a lot of proud history behind them. And you learn to fall into that, especially when I was in Salford, working class community. You know, I really got along with a lot of them. Some of the sponsors I'm still close with. And it's made me a better father. I didn't have any family here, so it made me and my family a bit closer. You meet people along the way. I got real close with Junior Sal, that's at Leeds, Kenny CEO, and over here, Harry Newman, a bit younger than me, but he's always over my place over here. He's like that annoying little brother, but he's one of my favorite players, and I'm hoping for the best for him. But it's made me who I am, because being that far away from home, you learn a few things. Got a bit older, you know, I come here at 25 or 26, I'm 30, 31, 32 now. So this has been the longest I've lived from home, and it's pretty much been home for me.
I mean, your family's back home now. How difficult has it been, you being on one side of the world and your family on the other? How difficult has it been for you?
Yeah, it's been, to be honest, mate, it's been tough. I sent them home in March. We've had goals, that we set as a me and my missus. Save a bit of money, get the boys in school. My oldest son's autistic, get him in an autistic school back home, and then we set the goals there. So I'm happy, they're happy, but then at the same time, injury wise, I haven't been playing. I have my ups and downs, but thanks to the credit to the boys here, they look after me. Whenever I'm down, they pick me up. I live with King and Sam Walters, so I'm sure they're sick of me, but I'm gonna miss them when I leave.
You mentioned about them being sick of you. I'm sure you're sick of FaceTime, aren't you? It's good. It's good. Technology is good, but it's not the same, is it?
Yeah, it's not the same, especially when you see your boys growing up in front of you on the phone or laptop. But I'm just happy they're safe, I still got to get a way home. Like, I'm not guaranteed if I can go home, Australian government's been a bit difficult. But I'm a laid back character. I'm not too rushed. That's what the missus does. She stresses a lot, so I'm just chilled out.
Is it Townsville then?
Yeah, Townsville. That's where I'm going back home.
So have you got to get permission from the Queensland government as well as the Australian government to go back?
Yes, so we got to fill out all these paperwork, go do 2 weeks quarantine in wherever we fly in, and then I think it's another 2 weeks when you go back to Queensland. So I might not be home till December, so who knows. I'm trying not to look too far ahead because I want to focus on the game. Next couple of weeks, I think we got a good chance, to go all the way.
So to cut down on the quarantine when you get home, would you have to sort of fly into Brisbane with it being in the same state and everything?
Yeah, well, I could fly into Brisbane, but every airline's not is cutting all the flights, so we've got to get flights through the government. And when they send out flights, it just goes like in 10, 20 minutes. So I've been up since 6 o'clock, just refreshing my email, waiting for the flights to come through. But I told the missus, it's nearly game day now, so you're gonna have to do
it. Is it like everyone's on some sort of central waiting list, and the flights are sort of dished out from there?
Yeah, so everyone has to sign up on a sort of like a DFAT, the Australian government page, and you tell them your situation. Like, it's not only myself, there's families that are wanting to get home. There's about, I don't know, 50, 60,000 people. So fingers crossed I get a flight. If not, see what happens.
And just one last one for me. You mentioned that you might play local league back home and everything, but the local leagues are part-time and everything. What are you going to do for a day job? Day
job, I got a few offers that are come through. My old school teacher aide. I just got to fill out a few things there. I've got a mining job and play for their local team in Mackay, which is about 4 hours from where I am. And a few of the boys are there too that used to play at Widnes. Haramaya, Hep Cahill, Sadamasar. So I've been in contact with them. And then I also got this youth justice work. So I've got a few options. I just told them I just want to get into the country first.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I just want to get home and then we'll go from there. I don't want to, get their hopes up, and I won't be home till January or February. So we'll see what happens. I'm trying not to think about that because I know we got the game this week, and I just don't want to get too far ahead of myself.
Cheers, Rob. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Thanks, sir.
Hi, Rob.
Sorry.
There you go, mate.
Just a couple of quick ones, Rob. It's only been 2 years, but it seems like the city and the people and even the club of Leeds has really left an impact on you. Can you try sum up sort of your emotions about the club and sort of how you're going to sort of remember it forever, I guess?
Oh, I came here. It's sort of been like an emotional ride, to be honest. Came here when Leeds wasn't going too good. To be honest, they just needed a couple of old heads in there, and just to say, get the best out of each player. So did the swap with Tui, came in, and I loved it. First ever game in Headingley, it was an eye opener. Like Rob Burrow gave him my jersey, which I will always remember. And then the likes with everything happening with Rob. So it's been a emotional roller coaster. But it's been the best time of my life. Going to Wembley, even though there was no fans, it felt loud. The pressure was on us. And you could see it after we won the game. We were just in shock because we've never felt like that as a group. Like 2 years or a year before that, we were fighting for relegation. And then you fast forward it, we're winning Wembley. So the club's at a good place now going forward, I believe. The juniors are the key. The likes of Harry Newman, Sam Walters, Ahmad Connor, Broadburn, Gannon. Gannon, I'm impressed with that kid, only 17. And he's got a big future in him. But, it's been an emotional ride. I've loved every moment of it. I played, one thing I do like is I played when Headingley was the old stadium and the new. So, yeah, not few people can say that, so I'll take that. But I've loved the city, the people here. They made me their own. Support us no matter what, win or lose. And you can see it when we the last game got a bit emotional, and they stayed around for us too, which was good.
Just probably let someone else have a go. There's a bit of talk that there's not much pressure on this Leeds side going into the playoffs. I mean, can you enjoy it? Can you go in as underdogs and sort of thrive in that role, do you think?
We're just only pressure we'll get if we put pressure on ourselves. This year, like I said, it's been an up and down year. Like lost me at the start of the year, and then our Gailey's out, Conrad was out, Mickey was out. Not like Zane with suspension. So we're just saying, whoever comes in just gives it their all and does the job. And we're going in with that attitude. We just want to go in and rip in for each other and leave it out there. Whatever the scoreline is or the outcome, if we know that we've gave it our all for our mate and the club, we'll be happy with that.
Brilliant. Thank you, Rob.
Thanks for that.
Just real quick one, Rob.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, just how does it feel to score a try like you did again the other night? Do you still get the same buzz when you obviously a great solo try?
Yeah, I had to be honest. I had yesterday Cruz Leeming hit me up because I stepped that lad. I went through and he was in my inside. If I would have gave it to him, he would have been top try scorer. But I said to him, I had to, mate. It was my last ever game of Headingley, so I needed to. And then he said, "Yeah, please don't do that again." But I think him and Dwyer, the joint first top try scorer, I said there's a little competition going on there. But I enjoyed every moment of it. Just the game. I wasn't happy that Rich pulled me off. 10 minutes to go. I wanted to play the full game, but Rich said, "Oh, we'll save you for Wigan." I'm like, "Mate, I've only got a couple of games. Just let me play the whole way." But it is what it is. I'm happy we got the win, and thanks to the fans for staying back and giving us the send off.
Brilliant. Best luck with it.
Thanks.
Oh, Rob, just a couple of quick ones. I know you obviously talked a bit about doing perhaps doing some youth work when you go back to Australia and the sort of advice you give to the younger players at Leeds. Is that something you really enjoy then, sort of working with the young people and the younger lads and helping them? Yeah,
well, coming to Leeds, I came from Salford where there was heaps of older fellas, and then when I came to Leeds, there was heaps of young kids that would just wanted everything, wanted to be the best. So it sort of made me into the role that I have now, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And for me, if I take that back home, is to tell them back home, you know, if you put your mind to something, you can end up like, look where I've been around the world thanks to rugby league. So, and thanks for me just for saying, okay, I'm just gonna follow my dreams. And if I can say that to them kids, and you never know, one of them might play for Leeds or Wigan or Cass or Hull. You never know. One day you might see a few of them over here.
Yeah. How did was it a case of them coming to you for advice on things, or did you sort of just, was it you might just pull them aside in training or a game day or something and just have a word?
I'll just pick up on, you know, tell them I'm more about their game and how I get the best out of them. But then it's the off-field stuff too, you know. As a young kid, you're not getting picked. It hurts because I've been there. And I always say to them, just keep working the game. And then when you get your opportunity, you got to take it with both hands. And, you know, it has happened for most of them, to be honest. And if I could leave my print on them, it's just to be relaxed about everything. Don't take your footy like home. When you're home, switch off. But when you're at training, that's your job. That's what you got to give your all to.
Yeah, just asking for me. Obviously, you sort of said how life might have been a bit different for you if you hadn't have had rugby league and the career you've had. What is it about the game in particular that you've found has sort of kept you on this course and allowed you to excel in the way you have?
I think being able to go places, if you understand. I'm from a country town up north, but I'm from the islands, which is Torres Strait, in between PNG and Queensland, and it took me from there to Townsville, and then when I got 15, it took me from there to Sydney, and then when I hit 18, it took me there back to North Queensland, and then North Queensland all the way to England. So I think it's the journey and the life lessons I learned along the way that rugby league's taught me, and I can't keep that to myself. You know, I gotta let young generation know that if you love the game, it'll give you the best.